question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Denver Broncos coming up next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill? Maybe different things like that? Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
And off we go from Denver. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their rookie QB, the young man out of Oregon.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up second down. Now it's Nix. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And Sutton will have a Broncos first down as he'll get this down to the 47-yard line. On the counter, here's Williams. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd and 10. Here's Nix. That's caught. It's Marvin Mims. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Josh Hines-Allen showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Now a give up the middle to Williams. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Nix to the air. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Foye Oluokun. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
13th play now on the opening drive. Will this be the lucky one? It's 3rd and goal. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you want to talk about enormous expectations being placed on a quarterback. How about what Trevor Lawrence faced coming out of college? But the good thing for him, he's used to it. He had the same type of expectations leaving high school and going to Clemson. They always expect him to be a franchise savior whatever team he joins. And to his credit, he shouldered those expectations and he's doing everything in his power to follow through.
Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. In motion left is Thomas. Now Lawrence. And it's incomplete. Took a shot couldn't connect.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Lawrence. And the Broncos get there and take him down. DJ Jones drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
So on 4th down, here's Logan Cook to punt for Jacksonville. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. 40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Down to the 42, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
To throw, here's Nix. And that one to the right side and incomplete. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
To throw is Nix. Trying to lay one up deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Antonio Johnson breaks up the throw.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go again with Etienne. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Open man, this is Brenton Strange, the tight end. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. He'll get that underneath ETN. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1. Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Jags with a football to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Throwing Nix. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. That'll give them 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. Up the middle, it's Williams. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. On play action, here's Nix. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Jags grab it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So he went out of the pocket left, and then things got dicey.
And what often happens is when they get outside, they want to keep their eyes downfield in order to try and complete a pass. But when they try to make a play, they've got to get their footwork involved. And that can really mess them up as well. And in this case, nothing went right, and the ball got knocked free.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd and 5. In motion right is Davis. Now Lawrence to throw. He'll find ETN out of the backfield. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And they're going to have a third down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to fourth down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Going for it, here's Etienne. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Etienne on the toss right. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Lawrence steps away to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Here's Lawrence. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Nice coverage that time by Levi Wallace.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Denver's offense ready to go again. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, Nix. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. This is taken at about the 14. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. He's got Thomas yet again, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
A give, running right, ETN. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Alex Singleton, the linebacker, there on the tackle.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On second down, ETN once more. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a third down and 6 to go.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Lawrence will throw. Flushed out right. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
A Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. Denver's offense now set to go. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
And he will slide down, but a penalty marker down as well. And it looks like this is going to be all for naught. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
And that flag accepted. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at the 40. He'll look to ETN to start things out. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 8. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Over the middle, open is Thomas. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Back to throw now on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Baron Browning coming in for that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Lawrence.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Throwing to start the drive. Nix. And this is going to be incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Here's 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun is Nix. It's caught on the right side. Williams. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Riley Dixon now to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From midfield now, Lawrence. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. Throw out wide is incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
Here's Logan Cook now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Throw right side, complete to Williams. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Now it's Nix. Open man downfield is Reynolds. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Nix. This one swung out to Williams. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Second down and 3. Nix to the air. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Courtland Sutton as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And Courtland Sutton able to finish things off with the touchdown reception. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Now Lawrence. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. So we've come to halftime at a 5-point game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
The Broncos got a strong first half from their signal caller, Bo Nix. He has a touchdown pass, and that amounted to the only touchdown of the game for either team thus far.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
Here now, 2nd and 4. On play action, Lawrence. And that is caught downfield by Thomas. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a gain of 35.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 32-yard line. ETN up the middle. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Another tote for ETN. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And his kick is indeed good, and that will cut the lead down to just 2. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Broncos and Cortland Sutton heading back out there. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
2nd down and 4. They'll go play action with Nix. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Nix. Short throw caught by Dosich. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 69 yards rushing for him now to this point.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
Williams going to get it again on second down. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. The busy night continues for Williams. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Partner, we always talk about how important third down is, but I think first down is equally important because everything comes off of that play. If the defense wins the down, they are able to attack. If the offense wins the down, they might go faster, do other things, and change things up. That big play right there allows this offense to really get in gear.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. To throw. Here's Nix. Out route complete to Dulcich. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Nix targets and finds Reynolds once more. And the Broncos are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Williams fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here? And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Josh Reynolds, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos add 6 to their lead. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. He's got it, and that'll make the score 17-8. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Jaguars again ready to take over on offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Ball on the 30 now. Here's a second down and 6. Here's Lawrence to throw. Flush to his right. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new. It worked there. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 41. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play. Yeah,
they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here's 2nd and 3. And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get 17 down to the 17, and it's a first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Now Lawrence to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter action in Denver. Now Lawrence. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Lawrence. They'll get this out to the flat for ETN. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the left hash, this from 37. And this one is right through. And that'll move them back within 6 now. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Broncos offense and Bo Nix getting set for this next possession. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Williams going to get it again on second down. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 97 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They run it again with Williams. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Now we give up the middle to Williams. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth. Mims in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. The offense on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing Nix. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a for-sure stop on 3rd, and then the tables turned. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He'll drop this down to Williams. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. On play action, here's Nix. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions. They need a yard here. They go back to the ground with Williams. And Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. Nothing doing on second and third down after that 9-yard gain on first. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Lutz is good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Lawrence. And that is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. 139 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
Off the bootleg, here's Nix. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Nix from the shotgun. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive
is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Williams will score. Touchdown, Broncos.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2. They'll look to run for it with Williams. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
Now, 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He targets Ingram for another grab. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Lawrence will throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Lawrence going to throw again. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Broncos are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The football going back over to the Denver Broncos. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Trayvon Walker makes the tackle.
The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
2nd and 10.
So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room, too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
Now Lawrence. Toward the sideline, intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. But here in the fourth quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46.
They'll fake the jet sweep and instead give up the middle to Williams.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway, once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.